Recording after.
Regarding the previous session. Okay, cool. Yes.
One question. I was trying to automate using the Chrome browser, but I found that it was not actually recognizing couple of controls and all properly.
Are
So
you using HTML while scanning?
yeah, I'm using HTML only.
Okay, then we can connect post this session once so that I can have a clear picture.
And one more problem from yesterday, I have seen that my Explorer, when I try to open my iExplorer 11, it's open up, but immediately it shut down, and that Microsoft Edge browser comes up automatically. I don't know why it's happening. I try to troubleshoot, but still I'm getting that every time. So I tried with the Chrome.
Let me see once, only then I will have an idea. Okay, after this class we will connect. Yeah, any other questions? Okay, so yesterday we discussed about some of the internal functions in Tosca, and also we came to know like what are buffers, how do we create them and all. So today let's see some other functions. So if you remember yesterday, we want to buffer the value of the email that we have entered. Like how many operations are we performing here? One is we are entering a value in the email field. The next one is we need to buffer that value into a buffer. So how many operations do we have here? Two operations. Am I correct?
Yes.
Because of these two operations only, we copy pasted the same test step and then we did it in this. Or else obviously we will have only one test step here. So what is the other way around? Whenever you have multiple operations, how can you deal with it? For suppose now you have two operations. In the same case, if you have some 3 to 5 operations to be performed on a single element, okay, then will you copy the test step for 5 times? That is not correct. Am I correct? Right?
Yes.
So then what is the other way around is we have a feature called cardinality. One moment. Yes. Yeah. We have a feature in Tosca called cardinality. What is this cardinality basically? This will help us to perform n number of operations. Okay. So it has 4 values. Like you can enter any of these 4 values. One is 0 to 1. Another one is 0 to n. Another one is 1. And the last one is 1 to n. This means minimum 0 operations to maximum 1 operation, minimum 0 operations to n number of operations, 1 operation only, minimum 1 to maximum n number of operations. See, how do you know that you are performing an operation? We can know whenever we pass an action mode, that means we are performing one operation. If you give some action mode, that means you are performing an operation, right? So now you have these 4 values in the cardinality. So where do you find it is? You will find it in the particular attribute properties. Now what is the attribute you want to perform multiple operations on? Email. The text box called email. So where is it? In the registration module. This is the attribute. So click on it and open its properties. See, already you have this property, cardinality, where the value is 0 to 1. Now, how many operations do we need to perform? 2 operations. So we can change it to n. Okay. When we say n, what happens is, see, after performing one operation, again this came up, which is ready for the second operation. So instead of copy pasting the same thing here and doing, what we can do is we can directly give this buffer1, action mode is buffer. This is the second operation you have to do. See, I have another email which is ready for the third operation. For suppose I am doing a click as part of my third operation. I have another email which is ready for the fourth operation. See, if you don't want to do, just don't give anything. Do as many operations as you want and leave this blank and move on to the next step. So here this is the password. So this is test at 1234 and again confirm password. Before I give it, let me change the data type to string. Test at
Ramya,
1 2.
it is great to hear. But suppose multiple items there to copy paste. How can we do
Sorry.
to update that? If suppose, for example, only email only there, right? Buffer. So I have a multiple properties there that need to buffer. So that time also we need to update the cardinality.
Yes, see, whatever operation you do, it doesn't bother whether it can be a buffer operation, verification operation, input operation. If you want to perform multiple operations, increase the cardinality. That's all. Okay,
Okay.
and now I am deleting this step. And many people, what they do is, for suppose, people think like, okay, I have to perform 2 operations. So let me change it as 0 to 2. But actually, even though you change it as 0 to 1 or 0 to 2 or 0 to 3 or 0 to 5, whatever p it is, still it will be updated as 0 to n only on the background because the accepted value range is 0 to n. I'll show you. People think that if we give 0 to 2, the minimum is 0, maximum is 2 operations. But actually that is not correct. Already I have done 2 operations, but still I can do some other operations also. See, whatever you give, that will be considered as n only. Okay, I am repeating again. If you have more than one operation to be performed, then we will change the cardinality to 0 to n or 1 to n depending upon our need. You can choose. Most preferred value is 0 to n. Sometimes some controls, especially in the um, APIs and all, you can see the cardinality will be sometimes 1 to n and all. This is why, because you have to perform an operation on it for sure. By default, you have to perform an operation. That is the reason they have the cardinality as 1 first, so that minimum is 1 operation and the maximum is n number of operations. Is it clear?
Ramya,
Yes,
what is the difference between 0 to n and 1 to n?
I'll show you. 1 second. Now let us not disturb this one. I'll take one dummy test case here and I'll just play around with this. For first name, let us take the cardinality as 0 to 1. Okay. For last name, let us take the cardinality as 1. Okay, hold on. Yes. Email 0 to n. And password 1 to n. Okay. And now I'm simply dragging this and dropping this module here. See, first name, did you get any action mode by default? No, because the number of operations are 0 to 1. Last name, you got an action mode by default, that is input, because the number of operations are 1, strictly 1. Password, do you have another last name to perform the second operation again? No. Password, you have one action mode, that is input, because of minimum 1 operation. The second operation is also ready for you. You can see another password here. Is it clear now?
Hence, there is a difference between 0 to n and 1 to n. When 1 in 1 to n, there another the same control will repeat it with ready action mode.
Yeah, one action mode by default will be given. See, if one action mode comes up, that is nothing but you have to perform minimum 1 operation. Okay?
Okay. Okay. So here is 0 to n.
Means by default, no action mode comes up.
When no action mode comes up, only one control is given. On the
Yes.
first time, yeah, that is not repeated the second time. It will come
Yeah.
up automatically once we
Yeah,
start
for
working on
suppose
it.
now I gave something here. In email you have 0 to n. Now I have given some value and I got some action mode. Then automatically it came. Okay?
Okay.
Yes. So let me just go back and change these properties here. I hope everybody understood. Any questions, any doubts still on cardinality? Cardinality is one important interview question. People ask you what is cardinality, why, how do we use it and all. You can say them whenever we want to perform multiple operations on single test step value within a single test case. Sorry, within a single test step. Means now I want to perform multiple test step operations within single test step here. Then I'll go for cardinality and change the cardinality of the particular attribute. Values are 0 to 1, 0 to n, 1 and 1 to n. Okay. I'm deleting this test case. Whenever you want to delete something, select it, click on delete button on your keyboard. Or else right click and here you can see a cross mark, right? That is the delete. You can click on that one as well. Let me change the properties. 0 to 1 it is. Okay. 0 to 1, 0 to n and 0 to 1. 0 to 1. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I got everything back. Okay. So now this is what we have done here. Any questions, any doubts still here? I'm repeating once again. Okay, cool. I hope everybody understood until this topic. So now let's run our test case and okay, before we run our test case, every time if you observe, though we are saying click on logout, every time I am manually clicking on logout. Did you observe it, anybody? Okay, I will run this test case and I will show you. See, I'll tell you, I won't do manual operation. See, now it opened demo web shop, clicked on register and it started filling the details here, register button. And now it should click on logout. It clicked and it closed the browser. and the test case has passed. What do you think now? Did it click on logout or not?
I think it should.
It went and it clicked. There is a green tick mark also here. Right?
Yes.
But actually what happened is, I'll show you. See, it did not log out. See, it did not log out from the previous account. But it actually clicked on log out, right? The thing why this happened is, usually once it clicks on logout, it needs 1 second of time in order to complete the logout operation. But Tosca is super fast, and once it clicked, it immediately closed the browser. So the logout operation is not completely done.
Yes, that might be reason.
That is the reason it is still logged into our account only. So now what can we do in order to make some time for this logout operation to be done?
We can include the wait.
Yeah, we
something.
should include some wait time so that Tosca will wait for 2 seconds or 3 seconds, whatever we want, and then it will move on to the next step. So today let us see what are the different kinds of waits that are available in Tosca. Yeah, basically whenever we say wait, we have two types here. One is static wait, another one is dynamic wait. Where do we use static? Where do we use dynamic? Static, the name itself says you, it is a fixed wait time, like a hard coded wait. If you say wait for 5 minutes, it doesn't know what is going on. Whatever let it happen with the application, whatever you want, but still it will just simply wait for 5 minutes and then go to the next step after 5 minutes only. Means it will simply sit there and wait. That's all. Hard codedly. Okay. In dynamic, it is not in this way. We have to set some property. Wait for some property to come up, or wait for something. Okay, some action to be done and all. So immediately once the action done, immediately it will move to the next step. For suppose if you are saying 5 minutes, this is the maximum time it will wait. If in between only, at the second minute only your control comes up, something is changing, then it will immediately move on to the next step. It will not waste its time. Okay. So how can we achieve this static wait is by using the standard module tbox wait, or else we can add steering parameters as well for our attribute properties, which are called as wait before, means wait before performing any action on this control, or wait after performing an action on this control, wait for this much of time after performing an action on this control. Coming to the dynamic waits, it can be achieved by wait on action mode is one way. The other way is by using the synchronization time. Okay, so today let us see these two. Okay, let's go back to Tosca Commander and see how can we include some static wait first. So if we want to add any test step, where do we need to add it first of all? After logout and closing the browser. So this is the place. This is the test step folder where we want to add. So how can we add a test step? Shortcut is Control T button. Okay, or else click on the search and add test step. Simply say wait here. T box wait. Double click on it. And now, where did my test step come? It came at the end. but I want it in the middle of the logout and cross browser. So simply adjust it. Hold this, move it, and simply adjust it here. Here all you need to do is you have to specify the duration it has to wait. Okay, let me give it as 3000. In Tosca, usually we represent everything in the form of milliseconds. Okay, so if you want to wait for 3 seconds, give it as 3000. If you want to wait for 50 seconds, 50,000. The number you want followed by 3 zeros. Okay, so now I'm running my test case once again. So before that, I'll manually click on this logout, close this browser. I'm running my test case once again. So let us see if it really works. Register, fill the details. Log out, and see, this time actually it logged out. It waited for 3 seconds. We can see that. See in the logs also, after 8:56 9 seconds, it clicked on logout. Later, it came to this step at 8:56 10 seconds, and it waited for 3 seconds. So this close browser has started at 13 seconds. Okay, this is the static wait. Any questions, any doubts on this? Yes. Okay, now let's see how can we give the dynamic wait. Okay, now in order to give dynamic wait, we have to first observe the change, what is happening. See, sometimes you may have to enable and disable the test steps. What is this enable and disabling the test steps means? You have some test steps and you don't want to run them. At the same time, you don't want to delete them also. So then just disable them. If you disable, whenever you execute, they won't come up. Okay, until unless you enable them back. So how can you enable or disable is by pressing on the F7 button. Okay, now see, it is asking why are you disabling. Just give a valid comment here. I want to use dynamic wait. Okay, so now this is disabled. See, whenever I mouse over, see, I can see I want to use dynamic wait. See, allows to perform a wait, disabled. I want to use dynamic wait is my comment. Okay. And now, in order to perform dynamic wait, what is the change that you can see after clicking on logout? How can you say that the logout functionality is done? Like that. We will see a login button. Am I correct?
Yes, Ramya.
So what I can do is, first I will click on logout. Later I will say that wait until you can see the login button. So now how should I adjust my controls? My logout should be ahead of login. So now again I am going back to this top menu module, and now what I do is I am just keeping this one at this point. Okay, so what happens, first I will click on logout and then I will say wait until you see the login button. So what is the property I can use? Visibility property. So I opened property drop down, and here I am saying visible double equals to true. This means wait until you see the login button. Okay. And now let us run this whole test case once again. See, it opened demo web shop, clicked on register, filled all these details. Log out, and immediately login is visible and it closed the browser. Let's see how much time does it take for that. See, immediately after 17 seconds, it started. At the 18th second, this login was visible. So in order to get it visible, it waited for 2 seconds actually. After 2 seconds, it moved on to the next step. So my logout is completely done, the logout operation. Any questions, any doubts on these two types of waits?
So one more case is using the dynamic.
Sorry, I can't hear you, Ganga.
Can you show me the dynamic weight once again?
Yes, 1 second. Sorry, I went to the wrong folder. Yeah. So here we are clicking on logout and then we are waiting until login has become true. Visible login is visible to us. This is how we waited. Did you understand? You can take any property here instead of visible. Okay.
Okay, visible is equal to true. We can take this exist also.
Usually, yeah, you can take exists also. Exists and visibility have different things again. Okay. Sometimes we take exists like whenever we don't know whether that button actually exists on the page or not. And yeah, you can take that one as well. Even in this scenario, even that is a valid one. Sometimes we will see enabled, whether it is enabled or not and all. Yeah, you can take different properties.
Okay.
Okay. So now let's move on to the next thing. So all like I cannot show you a relevant example for this, whatever I'm explaining now, but I can help you with that somehow. Okay, now I am marking this test case as completed because I feel now this test case is properly completed because there is no manual intervention at all. Okay, and now let us discuss another topic. Let me create a dummy test case here. Right click, say test case, X versus click. Okay, so let's see what is X and why do we use it. Okay, let us take any module. Okay, I will ask you one interview question. How many times can we use a module in test as a test step?
I think in number of times as much as we want.
Yes, that is correct. We can use it n number of times. This is one of the interview question from Accenture written test. Okay, so yeah, let us take this top menu module, drag it and drop it here. Until now, we always saw whenever we want to click on something, what is that we are doing? We are just giving curly braces, CLICK, click, closing the curly braces. Am I correct?
Yes, Samir.
But now I will show you a different. We can also give it give in the form of an X. So what does this X do basically is, okay, first let me show this click. See how does the click operation work first of all. Okay, so I'm just minimizing all this. I will just run. See, if you want to run this whole test case, go to test case and click on run in Scratchbook. If you want to run the test step alone, just click on run at the test step level. I give click now. See, my cursor will go to register button and then click on it. See, you can see that, right? My cursor went to register and then it clicked on it. You can see the movement clearly on the screen. The same one, okay, like I'll just copy this test step once again. And this time I will say click on login, but this time I'm giving X. Okay. So see, X is also similar to click only. The only difference is you will not see any movement on the cursor or you cannot see anything. It will click, but you cannot see any movement. I'll say run. See, my cursor did not move. You can see a black box that came up around the login. Did you observe that?
No.
Okay, hold on. I will run this register once again. This time you will see the cursor movement. See, it went to register, that hand icon came up and then it clicked. Okay. And now I will run this login. Observe carefully. Within seconds it will click. You will not see any cursor movement. A block box, see?
Yes, Kamla.
So there are two ways to click on a button. One is by clicking through the click operation. The other way is by sending the X as a value. If you send X as a value for buttons, then it means to click on that particular button. Which one is preferred and which one, why do we need to use that one? X will help us in lot of scenarios. Sometimes what happens is here everything is working fine because this is the application given by Tricentis and somehow I'm not able to find a relative scenario. In real time, what happens is there will be some controls which are at the bottom of your pages. There will be some buttons and all at this bottom pages. Like you need to scroll down and all in order to access them. So whenever you use this click operation, right, sometimes it may fail. It will not go to that particular control. It will throw you an error saying control not found. But if in those scenarios, if you give X, it will go because there is no cursor movement required, right? So it will go from the background and it will click on that particular control. And also the most preferred one to use is X rather than click. Tricentis always recommends use of X rather than click. Okay.
Ramya, can we address this issue while adding the objects?
No, usually while you are scanning, you will scroll down and you will scan them, right?
Okay.
So they will be normal objects only. We cannot identify them. We cannot change anything over there. But when you are clicking on the controls, then you need to give it as X.
But when we are adding, I don't remember, like we will scan that particular, like we will take the location, right? There, the attribute values will be like center, like that we will be getting, right?
Okay, you are talking about steering parameters?
Anchor tag, I'm talking about anchor tag. There we will be referring, right? Top and that case, can we address that issue? Like wherever the page is.
Actually, 1 second. You will get this center and all whenever you identify by image.
Correct, exactly.
Yeah, this is the scrolling behavior they call it. This is one of
Okay.
the steering parameter. Okay,
Okay.
we can address the same similar issues with this scrolling behavior also.
Okay.
Okay, But the most preferred one for the buttons is X rather than the scrolling behavior.
Okay.
Scrolling behavior will help you whenever you have similar type of controls like drop downs or radio buttons or some other text fields which are in the bottom and all. So then you can set the scrolling behavior to bottom, and then obviously it will scroll to the bottom first. Okay.
Okay, Ramya. So if we perform like a scrolling behavior, then X is not required, or still we require X?
Not required.
Okay, okay, got it.
For usually for buttons, we don't give scrolling behavior. We directly give it as X. If
Okay.
it is some other field, then we go for steering parameters.
Some other field in the sense?
Text box, drop down,
Okay, got it.
other
Okay.
than OK buttons.
So inside the scroll down, okay, only to click on scroll down button, or to select the scroll down value also we will go for the X?
There is no option to click on this scrolling bar in Tosca.
Okay.
All we do is, for suppose, if you have some control at the very bottom level of the page, somewhere here, okay, then obvious you cannot see it here. You need to
Correct.
scroll it down, and then we will go for these options.
Okay. Yeah, I got it. Okay, so you mean to say that, okay, for the link we will go for that parameter, but that means for in the object, but if it is in text box or in a drop down, we'll go for this X option, right? So but in drop down, okay, assume that, okay, there is like district is there, like Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, like that options are there. Only to click on state we will go for this X, or inside that value to select Andhra Pradesh or
You got
Karnataka, like,
confused.
sorry?
Hold on. For drop downs and all, you will not use X. You will
Okay.
use scrolling behavior.
Okay.
For clicking on buttons, OK buttons means button something like this: login, register, subscribe. For these, we use the X.
Okay.
So whenever you use scrolling behavior, automatically first it scrolls. Let me
Okay.
try showing you that. Let me scan one thing at the bottom, but I'm not sure if it is going to work for this page. But let's try. Scan HTML. We did not yet discuss about the steering parameters, so that is the reason I did not come up with that. So say select on screen, YouTube or this Google Plus. I think both are unique already. Inner text and the tag is selected. Inner text and the tag is selected. Say finish screen and close this. This is the one. So simply drag this, drop it here. And now for this YouTube and all, in order to click on it, if I give if I give click, here it is directly going and clicking. Okay, that is the reason I felt that these are the not correct examples. So I will show you one. See, if I give click, directly it will go and click on it. Though my page is at the top level, see, it automatically scrolls down and it is clicking on it. But I want something which doesn't click. That is what I'm looking for. Okay, anyways, I will show you what will happen if you give the scrolling behavior also. The same thing will happen if you give the scrolling behavior. Copying this property, paste it here. Scrolling behavior is the property name and the value is bottom. So once you run this, so by default it will scroll to the bottom first, and see, once it starts running, it scrolled. Okay, and then you clicked on it. Okay. Is it clear?
Yeah, yes, Ramya, it's clear now.
Anyways, you can use, but anyways, we will talk about this steering parameters and all in the later part of the class. Okay.
Sure, Ramya.
Ramya, this is
Yes.
here. So when interview asks what is the main difference between X and click, what can we say?
Yeah, this is one of the important interview question. When they ask you about X and click, click is something where you can see the cursor movement on the screen, and X is used whenever we cannot perform, like whenever the control is somewhere else, or else you want to click on that control from the background. Okay, and some people recently are asking in this way also, like I have some control which is not visible, which is at the bottom of the screen, and I want to click on that particular button. How can I click on it? Give the value as X and just run that. So it will click it from the background. And the same time they will ask you, I have a drop down over there as well. So how can I work on it? For that, you can use the option as steering parameter, which is the scrolling behavior. Okay. And the value should be bottom.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Any other questions? Any doubts?
Ramya, while giving X, I've seen you have used a small letter X, and
There
I
is
have
no
seen you
difference between capital X and small x. You can use
same.
any. Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay. With this, I will stop today's session. Let us all meet again on Monday. And before you come to Monday's class, I have some task for all of you. Okay. The task is register a user. You know how to register a user now, right? By using the cardinality buffer and also by using the wait on action modes, register a user. After registering a user, the next is the second test case. What you have to build is login with the same username. Here you should use that buffer value. I told you how can you use the buffer value. Try exploring it and give the buffer value for the email. Password you can give it test8123 directly and click on login. After logging in, again simply click on the logout button. There is nothing much. Okay, 2 test cases.
Okay.
Please complete them.
Ramya, once again, we'll be logging using the buffer value.
Yes.
Because in place of instead of entering the direct value to the email action, we will using buffer. We'll pass the value to the buffer, and the buffer will then pass
No,
the value
no.
to the email.
Whatever value you buffered while registering, right? While registering, we are always buffering an email value. If you observe, here we are buffering this value, right, into a buffer called buffer1 in this case.
Okay.
The value which is stored in it has to be used while logging in. So it would be something like this. Curly braces, capital B, square braces, that particular buffer name, close both the things. Okay, yeah. Thank you all. Thanks for joining. And I think somebody has a doubt, so please stay on the line.
Yes, Ramya, that Chrome